This is Leonard the Bad Boy Garcia. Get your martial arts news at Martial Arts 411 Magazine.
All right, hey everybody, this is Dion DeLauder with Martial Arts 411 Magazine. We're here with Urijah Faber. Urijah, thanks for taking out your time to be on the call with us. I know you got a busy schedule, so just want to touch base with you and ask you a couple of questions. It's glad to have you on the call, man. Thanks again for taking out your time.
No problem.
You just came off a great fight, the first fight, UFC, coming from WEC. Tell us a little bit about what it was like changing weights. You moved from 145 to 135. You had your first win against Eddie Wineland. That was UFC 128, a unanimous decision. What was that whole experience like coming over from the WEC, being meshed into the UFC, which is, as we know, one of the biggest platforms for MMA on the planet right now?
It was good. It was a great transition. I mean, it was the same team that runs both organizations. So as far as, getting used to different people and things like that, it didn't have to happen. It was just, kind of the change of the initials, UFC to from the WC to the UFC. So it was good, man. I had a great time, and I'm getting really used to making the cut to 135. So I feel like I've got it down pretty pat, and I can't wait to get the belt at 135.
Well, you looked really fast. You looked really strong in that fight. Your next fight coming up in UFC 132 is against Dominic Cruz. Cruz, you beat him previously, so it's kind of for him, it's a grudge match. What are you doing, anything special to prepare for him? Because obviously, he's probably not the same fighter. I'm sure you're not the same fighter since you guys met last. Are you doing anything special for him, or is it just business as usual?
A little bit of training things that you do different specifically for guys, but for the most part, you focus on your own game and the offense that you're going to put out there. But Dominic is a unique fighter. He was a unique fighter when I fought him the first time also, and we both changed quite a bit, but it's still the same components, It's him as a person, me as a person, and I know I can beat him. I've done it before, and I'm looking forward to doing it again.
Urijah, I know you come from a strong wrestling background, and you've got I believe it's a purple belt, right, in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu?
Brown belt. Now, I got my brown belt just recently.
Congratulations.
I don't train with the gi that much.
Right,
Yeah.
It's mostly no gi?
Yeah, for the most part. I mean, I've been considered a purple belt for about 4.5 years now without the gi. I got the brown belt here just recently, so thank you.
Yeah, congratulations. Well, tell me what are you doing for your stand-up? Because I tell you, you're a phenomenal striker. Everybody that watches you, all the fans, we attend a lot of events, watch a lot on TV, a lot of the sports. Everybody says, your striking, your speed, your hand speed is amazing. What do you do specifically to work on the, coming from a traditional grappling and a wrestling background? What do you do to help work on the hands and the hand speed?
I just focus a lot on it. It's just like a boxer that needs to get his grappling strong. I mean, you really have to focus and dedicate time to getting with the right people and making a point to improve there. So I've done that with with every resource that I can. I've got my striking coach, Master Tong, who's a Muay Thai instructor and a boxing instructor, and we've got a whole host of talented fighters that have strengths in striking, so I'm always trying to take things from everyone.
That's a good strategy. Urijah, a lot of our fans, our publication, we give a lot of the international and a lot of the national event promoters and fight promoters a platform, but a lot of our focus is the regional guys, a lot of these regional fighters that are up and coming, and that's one of our biggest fan bases are these guys that are fighting here at some of the, the smaller, maybe not so well known, fight organizations. But, again, this is kind of like the breeding grounds, the hunting grounds for the up and coming fighters that, some of them will eventually rise to the top and possibly make it into the UFC one day. What advice do you have for some of these guys that are, still out there? They're still struggling to find sponsors. They're still some of them are doing the day jobs to try to, to keep the bills paying. They're trying to struggle the whole life of trying to balance the work with the training and the career. What advice do you have for those guys? Because that's a lot of our guys are, I hear that at time and time again, the big issue for these guys. What helps you the most, and what advice do you have for those guys?
I would say for the guys that are up and coming, you just got to be patient in this sport. I've been in this sport almost 8 years now, and nothing happens overnight. I mean, I started out as a regional guy that was trying to make my name, and it comes on the back of being intelligent on top of working hard, but surround yourself with the best people and the best team, and being a people person, I would say, make as many connections as you can in the sport as well, because it is important to be a great fighter, but it's also important to know how to get there, and being a people person and meeting people and taking advantage of that is something that's big. So I would say surround yourself with the best people. There's a great gym that has a history of creating great fighters, and try to join and be part of that.
And the good thing about what you said is, it's good to see that you're actually living, your mentality, because you talked about surrounding yourself with good people and a good team. And I know that you've done something, pretty amazing. I saw a special on you about how you've, kind of brought in other fighters in the one house, and then you guys kind of grew out of that one house, and you got another house, and now it's kind of like your own little neighborhood out there. And I saw something, some of the elderly community, saying how safe they feel with you guys in the neighborhood. That was a great special. But, what's that like? All you guys living right there, being able to wake up, live and train, kind of like in a group mentality. That's got to be definitely motivating. People talk about having a workout partner and things like that to help keep you motivated in times. Having a group of people that large, right there in your own little neighborhood to wake up and train with those guys. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, it's something that's kind of took on a life of its own, and it started with a couple of my college buddies, and then as time went on, more and more fighters and people related to it were becoming part of our community. And not everybody lives on our block, but we have a tight-knit group of guys that are all motivating with each other, and we have a co-op. We have fighters that help out with different classes and stuff like that, and it's kind of like you pick what your weakness and your strengths are, and everybody kind of moves towards making sure that everybody's great at it.
It's obviously helped you, and I'm sure a lot of the guys around you have definitely, gained a lot of benefits from being able to work with you and the group, surrounded by people that are knowledgeable and all working towards the same common goal. That's a great philosophy. Urijah, I know you mentioned earlier in the call that you're a little pressed for time. I don't want to keep you too much longer.
Nope.
Do you have any up-and-coming guys that are in your camp that you'd like to do any promotional pieces on? Anyone that you'd like to kind of boost up into the spotlight that maybe the mainstream doesn't know about?
A lot of guys are up and coming. TJ Dillashaw is one guy in particular who's really standing out. He's 4-0 now as a professional, 2-0 as an amateur. TJ Dillashaw, Dillashaw. He's a 135-pounder, college-level wrestler, wrestled Division I.
Well, hey, Urijah, again, I really appreciate you taking your time to talk to Martial Arts 411 magazine fans. It's been a pleasure. Dominated UFC 132 and many fights to come. Good luck on getting the belt, and we'll talk to you soon.
Thanks, man. I appreciate it. Have a great day.
All right. Thanks, Urijah.